All right. Um, if you go to my first channel, you would see that I've made a lot of videos like this where I show what they do and how they make me react. I made a lot of videos, hundreds at this point of videos like that, where I present exactly, I show what they do to me and how they force me to think and how disturbing they make me think. You see, there's a picture there with a man sitting down with a woman, and in the background you see like this little boy, this little girl. I think it's a little girl, but it could be a little boy. And they were trying to create me, well, they're stimulating me as always. They do these nasty things to disturb me. But before that, and they want you to be like, no, it's you, right? We're not doing the perfect type of torture. It's you. You are just reacting naturally. This is how you will naturally react. Of course, I know it's what they do. It's nasty, but I've accepted that my brain is no longer for me, and they can force you to experience disturbing reactions to children. It's part of this tactics to break down the personality of somebody. So we all have our own self-individuality. They're trying to break it down and rebuild you in these disgusting ways. It's so fucked up. And I'm sorry for using this language. I'm trying. I really don't like to curse, but it's just hard for me to speak, and I think they kind of trigger me to say these curse words, right? It's messed up. They are trying to rewire your brain in these disgusting ways, and they want you to accept this as if it's you. But listen to some of the logic they make me have. On the other side, you see a man hugging. So we all have our own self-individuality. They're trying to break it down and rebuild you in these disgusting ways. It's so fucked up. And I'm sorry for using this language. I'm trying. I really don't like to curse, but it's just hard for me to speak, and I think they kind of trigger me to say these curse words, right? It's messed up. They are trying to rewire your brain in these disgusting ways, and they want you to accept this as if it's you. But listen to some of the logic they make me have. On the other side, you see a man hugging two men, right? The man in the middle is like white or so. The two persons are Africans. They were making me imagine having these weird thoughts, like you see how like his white skin is touching their black skin, and making me feel like some weird, like wow, that's so, how good is how awesome is it? Is it like his white skin is not gonna be dirty, but his black skin? Now you understand. I'm as black as these people, and they're like making me think like his skin is gonna get dirty. Like his precious white skin is against this black skin, and they're making me think like that. And I'm like, do you first of all think that, like, what race am I again? Okay. Do you think I can ever look at a white person and say, oh, that precious white skin? Oh, touched. Delusional. They leave this, and they're like, you see, that's proof. And they're like, no, but when you were a kid, because I'm from a foreign country, and we're not used to seeing different skin colors. And this like when you're a kid, you're like, oh, white people, oh my gosh. And they're like, you see, that's kind of like cute. And I was like, oh. And like, you see, that's proof. We can make you feel like that. So this thing with the way you react to this kid is just like you're delusional trash. And truly, I have these battles in my brain. That shows also an indication of how my brain has lost a lot of the like logic and processing logic, and have been trying to break me down. And I know, they like to say you'll lose, right? Which is true, because my brain is no longer thinking about things normally. They are rewiring logic and rationality to this point. This is what this technology does. But I'm recognizing it, that I know this is that. My brain will never be aligned I will never be acceptive of how my brain is being manipulated. This is how my brain is going. I just gotta be like cautious about it. It isn't truly a battle or mental battle that they're creating, like, using this to this point. Do the pedophilia type of torture. I've watched this thing a million times, no problem. But now, because you're in my brain and forcing me to get a reaction toward children, this is how I'm reacting to this thing. I don't care about this black and white person. Like, these people are delusional. And you gotta be strong. And they give you anxiety and everything else. Like, this is how things are going to go in my brain. But I've made 100 videos about this. That's why I make videos, because I want to show the patterns of the things they do. So when my brain is becoming worse and worse and worse, like processing logic, I'm like, listen to this. But remember what they do. And listen to what I just said, right? But listen to the things I've shown 100 times in my other channel. I'm here to help out other target individuals, because as target individual, your brain is going to slowly fade away, and logic too. And they're going to try to use logic that is so illogical to make you believe. You see that you could see things kind of like that, in a way like that. So this pedophilia thing is you. We matched it. It's just delusional. To all my target individuals, stay strong and know that justice will be done.
In 2015, I began to experience what some call V2K, or voice to skull. This involves the projection of voices, noises, and music directly into my mind to communicate with me in real time and at the speed of thought. And it also includes the manipulation of thoughts, emotions, and perceptions in the person's mind. Additionally, the targeting is all highly perverted and sexual, as well as destructive and violent.
I just can't take this whole thing into account so much. I make it so dramatic. It is dramatic. It's somebody trying to end my life. It's somebody trying to end who I am as a person. It's somebody trying to take over my mind, putting thoughts of pedophilia. This disgusting things. You saw where I was going with that first word. Disgusting.
Disturbing pedophilia type of images and videos when I close my eyes. It also includes videos of burning dirty diaper or baby powder, which they sometimes combine with the pedophilia type of torture, including the threat of planned.
I could have been killed by then with the use of this weapon of torture that they had at the time, and because I have 4 children at the time, they were all little. Even though a few days after I summoned after 10 years of I found internet, and the network of victims been abused in the same manner as I've been. I declared war to this caca, this zombies from hell, because before this date, I was the perfect victim for this psychopaths groups. I summoned after 10 years of stalking and torture in 1996, and because the pain was so unbearable, they used some type of technology weapon where they aim at my head, and I felt that a hot knife was stabbing me in the head, and the act so coward that I didn't have other choice. I could have been killed by then with the use of this weapon of torture that they had at the time, and because I have 4 children at the time, they were all little. Even though a few days after I summoned, they attacked one of my twins, also in her head. But today, after 3 years that I rebelled against them, with an attitude, and no more doing what they want me to do, because that exactly I did, they started over with the pain, but this time, I didn't back up, because I knew the new neighbors were listening, and since I knew they introduced themselves as an organization of goodness, I knew they wouldn't torture me in the same manner that I was years ago. So after the initial attack, I took a defiant attitude and talked back, and telling them things are not the same like it was before. I wasn't afraid anymore, because I wasn't the only victim. I felt overpowered by the fact that there's already thousands and possibly millions of victims all over the world, that I felt strong with this. They simply couldn't do anything to change my attitude, and because I took it for so long, I immediately told them, so to speak, that I wasn't going to change my attitude, that the puppeter that they thought they have is gone, and this is me, the real persona, and I wasn't to take their bullshit anymore. Then said this, I started searching in internet for information about the abuse and the weapons that this psychopaths groups are using on innocent Americans, and I was overwhelmed by the horror stories of the target individuals and what their immediate families are going through, the information about the technology weapons that are used by the government, the agencies including CIA, FBI, NSA, Homeland Security, DOD, DOJ, etc., and mainly, the very well documented information of the technology in the web, including the well-documented organized stalking and torture run by neighborhoods, sort of speak, settled in neighborhoods, under the sponsored of our government.
Never.
Mr. Bush, you are not going to tell me that you do not acknowledge all of this corruption happening. You know exactly what's going on. I have joined support groups, sent letters to congressmen, senators, representatives in the government, also have joined international groups of victims where I have sent my testimony of events since my harassment began. Today, since this coward group of slaves realized I'm not changing in the old ways, they decided to get me in any way possible. I learned through other TIs that they've been assaulted sexually, and I realized I wasn't the only one. Then I knew we all get the same thing. Also that some of the TIs stated that they forced her through holograms to see aberrant sexual scenes, that she felt that she was starting likening what she was forced to see every night. Then I thought how that could happen, but then I told them that they would never take my will, and since we all know how the psychopaths groups work with what the TI says or does, then they started during the nights to run some kind of beam where suddenly I've been wakened up at 3 o'clock in the mornings and some kind of voice comes and say phrases, sound incomprehensible, and some other times can actually catch what is saying, ITS not my voice, a different voice, and I realized that they are trying to program for me to take it in a way that I won't notice a possible change in my behavior. Of course this is not new, because one main thing this program is out there, is called behavior modification for the undesirable, and that's one of the excuses this groups give for the neighbor TO join, deception. I learned to talk back, in my mind, during the process when I was awakened, and I would say demeaning things, that I cannot repeat it in this blog, you know what I mean. Since they had violated me for so long, I decided to aggravate them with words in my mind. I can hear my own voice. I told them I'm going to make you pay for all of the years of torture that I've taken, and all you are going to hear is aggravation. For every single second of my privacy that you have taken away. From me and my family. Then said this, the slaves began a program of perversion. First was with my dog. I am very playful with my pet, and suddenly one day that I was petting him I felt strange, in the sense of the word. I thought, this is strange, and then afterwards that strange sensation continued. Then in that moment I realized that was impost, so I thought, look at this losers, don't know how to put me down, and they are doing this. So I told them that I know what you are trying to do, and I started laughing, and then I said again out loud, you'll never take my will, ASS, so just to show them that I meant what I said, I kept playing with my dog, and even though that attacks continue, I don't let them get me. Today they continue with the programming of perversion, but this time they are aiming in the use of people, better said young people, also children and homosexuals. When I aggravated them I usually called demeaning names, and one of them is referring to homosexuals. For me all of the slaves are misfits, society haters, scumbags, etc. No, I don't have anything personal against them, homosexuals, but as my way to aggravate the slaves, and since they love to use children for the torture and stalking, street theater etc. Especially teenagers for the stalking at close range with an attitude, they are using them during my sleep in the perversion program, and so you can imagine what the slaves of torture are pretending to do to me. In the last days, as today September 9th, 07, anything I do, either watching TV or reading of whatever I'm doing, they brush me sort of say, I feel like I'm aroused all day and I feel the palpitations in my genitals for what I'm thinking, and since the attack comes so quickly, I realized my programming has been set on auto, in their central computers. No handlers could do something like this that quick. What made me realize the slaves are desperate to get me. Unfortunately for them they are facing a strong wall where no matter how much their computers EAP me, I know I'm not changing. As I said, I feel like they've been set up a beam where I feel constantly stimulated. I'm talking sexually, like a heat in my genitalia, like getting aroused constantly, trying to make me feel uncomfortable, because
grab his crotch and lean forward in his chair. And then he made a frightening grimace of severe pain. I asked him what was wrong and if he. During one session, I observed one of my 3-year-old clients suddenly grab his crotch and lean forward in his chair. And then he made a frightening grimace of severe pain. I asked him what was wrong and if he needed to use the restroom, but he said no to having to use the restroom and was not able to verbalize anything more due to his language delay. He looked puzzled and bewildered. Even though I had stated that it was time to do more work right before this incident, I quickly just let him play another game, and he quickly returned to his joyful, happy self again. In other sessions, he has also grabbed his crotch and said, "ow," while looking up at me. A while back, I had a 4-year-old client at my office who complained of disturbing sounds in his ears when none were around.